feel the heat. Truth on fire, can't stay in the seat. Voices up, let the stories unfold. This is where the real gets bold. Ask Carrol, say it loud. Real conversations, feel the crowd. Real impact, here and now. We bring the truth and show you how. Ask Carrol, ask Carrol.
Exactly six. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the AskCarrol Talk Show. It is February 7th already, 2026. We have an amazing show lineup for you today. We are talking about our children and our future. Angela, can you mute, please? Thank you.
Okay. So my father went to lay across the bed. I was
Shay,
going
can
to
you
move him
mute
with
everyone,
no truck.
please?
Oh, on the bed, something down. Oh, and if you or anybody.
Thank you. Sorry about that. It's real conversations, real impact, and we are live. Sorry about that, everyone. So again, welcome again to the AskCarrol Talk Show. It's February 7th, 2026. So on last week, we talked about our children. They are our future. So we had our 15-year-old and our teacher last week, our very own Shay, who was on with us last week, and our 15-year-old. Today, we have our college student. So it's a difference from being 15 in high school, transitioning to college. So today, our special guest is the one and only beautiful and brilliant Shania Reed. Shania, welcome to the Ask Carrol Talk Show.
Apologies, I was muted. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
You are so welcome. So everyone wants to know, who is Shania Reed? Shania, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so to keep it college related, I am a freshman in college. I'm 18 years old and I'm majoring in biology. I'm in my second semester, the spring semester of my college career.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
First year in college. That must be hard. Is it really hard on your first year, Shania?
I mean, it's just a lot to get used to. High school is more lenient when it comes to basically everything. In college, you have to be more self-managed. You have to be more self-managing. You have to be independent. So there's nobody to, let's say, hold your hand and tell you to do this or tell you to do that. You have to be on top of your own standards. You need to be on top of your own business and do what you need to do.
Beautifully said. I love those two words, self-manage. And we're going to get into that later on the Ask Carol Talk Show. But Shania, you're going to do fantastic today. So here's the
Yeah.
first question for you, Shania. What's one thing about college life that surprised you the most?
One thing about college life that surprised me the most, I'd say it's the, I would say not just the experience, but
Mhm.
just the shift. It's like you have to just get used to it. You don't exactly prepare for it, or you don't know what to expect. But once you're in it, you have to just flow and do everything as is. Like it's a hard concept to understand if you're not a college student, obviously, but you just have to, as I just mentioned about self-preservation and self-management, you have to just get used to it and make sure you do it in a proper way and do everything that you're supposed to before, you fall behind or potentially fall behind. So that's one thing that
Beautifully
surprised me, the
said.
shift.
Beautifully said. The shift, and we're going to talk about the shift. So you're literally on your first year in high school. Tell us about that shift, Shania. How was that transition from high school, being around kids that are minors because they're under 18 in some high schools, that is, and being in college when you're literally an adult? Talk to me about, or talk to us about that shift.
Okay, so one thing I'd say is that it's definitely more mature. In high school, you will have kids joking around. In college, it's like everybody is on top of their stuff. There's no tomfoolery. Everyone is just there's just something that is understood that you're actually paying for these classes. It's not free anymore. It's not a public school. You're putting your own money, you're working, your parents are putting their own money into this. So you have to try as hard as you can or seek the help that you need to succeed. There's no time to joke around. If you have time to party, then you can go ahead and party, but other than that, everyone is on their stuff. That's what
No time to party, but we're going to talk about partying later on the Ask Carrol Talk Show
I
because
do
rumors,
have a comment about that, surprisingly. If my
yes,
mom isn't here, so
uh-uh. If mom is listening, we're going to have mom to stay muted.
hopefully.
But we're going to get into that, Shania. But here's a question for you. How has college changed the way you see yourself?
College has made me realize that I'm actually not even going to be an adult, but I am an adult, and that it is time for a change. It's making me realize that I am I can actually like do things myself. I can go in and I can sign papers and I
Mhm.
can get a job. I can do this and do that, make my own appointments, set my time, set my schedules, things like that. It's made me realize that I actually do have the ability to become an adult.
And you absolutely have the ability to become an adult, and you are an adult by United States law, 18 and over, you are an adult.
It came
Amazing
back.
answer, Shania. What part of your personality has grown the most since you started college?
I'd say hmm, probably how do I put this? I'm trying to think of a word. It's like the part of
You're doing
myself that
great.
can
Take your time.
stand up for myself part.
Mhm.
Like I can't think of a word on the spot right now, but the part of myself that has the ability to now stand up for myself and speak up, that part of me has definitely grown, and I'm glad it has because it's definitely needed for the college experience and to be an adult overall. Yes, assertiveness. I just
Awesome.
saw that in the chat. Assertiveness.
Yes. Yes. Oh, and we're going to get to the chat, mentioning about the chat. If you have any questions for Shania, please start putting them in the chat. Shania is our special guest speaker here in the Ask Carrol Talk Show. We're talking about life in college as a freshman. Amazing. So, Shania, do you feel like you are becoming the person you expected to be?
Um, I feel like I'm in the process. So I'm not in completion of that yet, but I'm in the process. It's not a smooth road, but it's doable.
It's durable. It is absolutely durable. Amazing. So let's tap into academy and career. Why did you choose your major, and would you choose it again? So what
Um,
is your major? Why did you choose it? And if you had to, would you choose it again?
okay, so that is a very good question. So my major is a biology, specifically physician's assistant. That's the career goal for my degree. And I chose it because a lot of the female members of my family, they are like CNAs, RNAs, they are in the medical field in some sort of way. So I decided to participate and take that a step further. If I
And
could choose it again, I'd say yes. It's a very important job. It is difficult, but there's a reason why I chose it. So I would choose it again if I could. Yes.
beautifully said. And we need our medical personnel in this world. They're so needed. Our nurses, our doctors, our PAs, our CNAs, our HHA, the medical field is so important. And I just want to give a shout out to everyone that is on the Ask Carrol Talk Show that's in the medical field. We love you guys. I think you guys are doing an amazing job. Awesome answer. So Shania, what's a class that unexpected change your perceptive?
Per-
Sorry, perspective. There we go. So a class that changed your perspective on what you're studying now.
Okay, so I would say chemistry.
Chemistry. It's a
Yes,
big
it's
one.
a prerequisite. It's a prerequisite of biology, and it is needed. You need to take it in order to excel in biology, and it's very difficult. In biology, you have to understand concepts such as memorize, like you have to memorize and be able to label parts of the body, anatomy, physiology. You have to be able to, understand those key concept and terms. Chemistry, however, it's much like math, and you have to do equations, you have to calculate things, and it's kind of like science and math combined together. And as you know, that
Hmm.
is very difficult to do.
Hmm.
It's time consuming and it's not easy to learn. Every teacher or administrative personnel that I've spoken to in this college that has taken chemistry, excuse me, they've said that they've either needed to retake it once or twice. So they did alert me that yes, it is in fact very difficult. That is something that has changed me because I had no idea that there was such thing as a prerequisite. I thought it was just, okay, I'm going to be a biology major, so I'm going to take strictly biology. That is not the case.
That is not the case. And you're doing some heavy stuff, and we're rooting for you. You're going to do amazing, Shania. Chemistry, biology, math. They are some heavy stuff, but you got this. You're gonna do well. Do you feel pressured, Shania? Do you feel pressured to have your career all figured out already at such a young age, a freshman?
I don't exactly feel pressured because even during high school, I was always like around those adults that told me that um, college is something that will confuse you. It's something that will make you change your mind. They told me that I was this major when I was a freshman, and then sophomore I was this major, and then I decided to switch it again, either my junior or senior year even. And I was just like, wow, that's really interesting. Like you completely, it was like two opposite ends of the scale. I had a teacher in high school that told me at once that she majored in education, and then she ended up being a math teacher. It's just or not in like elementary education English stuff that doesn't have to do with math specifically, and then she'd end up doing math, like opposite ends of the scale. And she said that she couldn't believe that she ended up doing something that she never thought she'd do. And then she said that might happen to you once you pick a major and realize that it's not for you. So I definitely say that that's something important. Um,
Good, good, very good, very good. And if we have any parents here that's on the Ask Carol Talk Show, and if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. What advice, what suggestions would you have for Shania? So go ahead and put those in the chat. We're going to get to them in a bit. So awesome answer, Shania. So Shania, here's another question for you. What's something college doesn't prepare you for that you wish it did? That's a big one.
it doesn't prepare you for the environment. There are many
Mhm,
different types of people here, and you will not get along with every single one of them, but it is important to know that now you are an adult and that certain situations cannot or should not be escalated. And it's not even like in terms of like trouble or an
mhm,
issue. It's just sometimes you will run into an individual. Like, let's say I'm working on a group project and I have a
mhm,
partner that doesn't want to, I've experienced this actually, that doesn't, the person isn't like, they're not as in depth into it as you are. They don't put as much attention and care into focus. And you're
mhm,
gonna see that and you're just gonna be like, you're working with me, I need your help. And they just won't agree with you. And sometimes you just
mhm,
need to be the bigger person and do what's the find the best option and do what you can to ensure that the project or the issue is sorted out.
Awesome. Good. And over the past two seasons of the AskCarrol Talk Show, you will hear we say this a lot on this platform: seek help. If you're not sure, seek help. So let's go right into the chat and let's hear what we're saying in the chat. Shay, any parents that have kids in college, if you have a comment, suggestion, idea, or for Shania, go ahead and let's go into the chat and see if we have any questions or comments for Shania Shay.
We currently do not have any questions for her right now. But she's doing a great job explaining college life, making me go back and think about when I was a freshman in college.
Yeah, it makes me think about I don't want to see a pen or a pencil anymore.
Yes, definitely.
Especially Shania that is majoring. She's doing chemistry, biology, math. That's good. All right, so
And
if there are no, go
I
ahead,
have
Shania.
a comment to add about that. And for specifically as my major, it's just showing you that this is just the beginning. There's such thing as undergraduate school, graduate school, medical school. There's more continuation after the point of my 4 years in college. So it's definitely a journey, I'd say. It's a long road, but it is again doable. It's
It is
challenging, but it's doable.
It is definitely a journey, and you have a ways to go, and you're going to get to the finish line, and we are rooting for you. So, Shania, we're going to tap into a little bit of mental health and balance, college life balance. So, here's a question for you, Shania. How do you handle stress during your first semester, your very first semester at college? How did you handle stress?
Um, I had to I had to make a sacrifice, I'd say. Like if I was overloaded with work and I took about 8 classes over like maybe let's say 16 to 18 credits last semester of college. And that is a lot. You have to have over 12 to be considered a full-time student. So you have to keep the range in between 12 and 16 is what they recommend. The stuff that I was doing was a little bit, I'd say, too much for me at the time, considering I had to take college writing, chemistry, biology lab, chemistry lab, and then I took a math class. It was a lot. So I'd say when I say sacrifice, I meant, let's say, looking at like really diving into the topic and looking at, let's say, this class is going to give me 3 credits, so I definitely don't want to fail it. This class is going to give me 1 credit, so it won't hurt that bad if I maybe miss a little assignment. Teacher will understand, or
Mhm.
maybe I'll email them and ask them to help me see if I can make it up, and just trying to like be detailed about what I choose to do and not to do. So I had to make a sacrifice. That's how I handled the stress because I couldn't obviously complete every single assignment at one time. So I just decided to do what was doable.
Do what was doable indeed. So let's just piggyback on that, Shania. What is a typical day looks like for you in college
Okay, let's just
from
start.
start to finish?
Okay, let's do Monday, for example, because nobody likes Mondays, and especially
I don't
I
like Mondays.
despise Mondays. Um, I last semester I had around 4 classes on Monday. I believe that my first class was biology. It said it was from 10 to 11:15, and it was around in the theater. It's like a short walk from my residence hall to the theater. So I would get up from maybe 8 o'clock, maybe 9:30 if I was feeling a little, you know, not in the mood, which was typical for a Monday. I would do my routine, I probably most likely showered from the night before. I would brush my teeth, do all the important hygiene necessities, and then I this is not recommended, but I would most likely skip breakfast. I had snacks in my room. I'll take a drink, and I'll probably just like eat that in my dorm, and then head straight to class. And then afterwards, when I had time in between classes, that's when I would go to have lunch. But because of the close relation in between classes, that was not really possible. Maybe like on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, the rest of the week. And then I would just strictly attend all my classes for the rest of the day.
So let's stay on that for a bit. So what does a bad week looks like for Shania, or what does a bad day looks like for Shania?
Um, when my professors are assigning assignments back to back to back, it's like it's like they don't really take heed to what's going on in the other departments and the other subjects. They'd be like, okay, I'm going to assign an essay and it's due Friday. And my biology teacher would be like, I'll assign a quiz. We have a quiz and that's also Friday. And they don't really, it's just when they start assigning things, a back to back to back, and there's a lot of confusion. And when there's like when they also like push things back unexpectedly without telling you, they'd be like, okay, we're not taking this anymore, and we're not taking this quiz today, we're taking it Wednesday. But
Mhm.
today's the day, or yesterday, the night before, is when you actually sat down and mentally prepared yourself. I studied to take the test, and we didn't actually end up taking it. So, and considering how many classes I had, I couldn't retain the information. So that was not a very good situation for me. It was
Yeah, you
very tumultuous.
you got overwhelmed. So
Mhm.
what does a good day looks like for Shania?
Most likely a free week, when me and my friends are like, we're discussing like the subjects, and it's actually really reached like a flow state, and we're talking about how like, oh, we're just like, oh, this teacher's assigning too much. I can't believe it. Like, when we're just like, when we are connecting with one another and um just feeling like not being so work oriented, when we have time for ourselves, when there's a balance. That's
There's
where
a balance.
yes, a good week looks like balance.
Absolutely. Good answer. So let's go to Shay for a moment. Shay, do we have any questions or comments in the chat for Shania? I know sometimes on this platform, we are shy and we don't ask questions, but that's what keep this platform alive, guys. So please put some questions in the chat, some comments. At some points, we all went to school or college or further our education. We have parents on this platform. So make it fun, make it excited for Shania. Some comments in the chat. Thank you. So let's go over to Shay. Do we have any comments, questions for Shania?
So we currently have two questions. Our first question comes from Jordan. Jordan would like to know, how do you cope with being away from home and being independent?
Okay. That is a
Good
very
question.
interesting question, especially considering it's coming from my mother. I'd say, to cope with being independent, I just think about what my parents would do in this situation, because they are adults, they raised me, and I've always just, it's like, when you have the angel or devil on your shoulder, there's no devil in this situation, the angel's on my shoulder, and they're just like telling me like, what would they do, like if I was signing papers and I needed I don't know, my social security number, I would like, think about obviously like what it is, but I'd instead of like asking my mom, I'd just go back and look and see if I have a picture of it. If I don't have it with me physically, I just think about what they would do in that situation. It's like it's kind of my way of keeping them here with me, because I know that being adult and being independent can be hard. But I also want to make sure to keep on top of things, considering that I have a Jamaican mother, and they can be very assertive sometimes. So you also want to make sure to flow with whatever they would do.
You just gotta flow with it. It's a learning process. Good stuff. Go ahead, Shay. Any questions or comments? Any parents that's on the Ask Carol platform, please put some comments in so we can address those and help Shania along her journey into college. Go ahead, Shay.
And I apologize if I say this name wrong. Sakeem Leslie would like to know, when you're overwhelmed with work, what do you do to settle your mind?
Good question.
When I'm overwhelmed with work, I just stop doing the work and do whatever I do. If I had free time, I'd go on my phone, I'd go outside, I'd scroll on TikTok, I'd watch a movie, anything, listen to music, anything that isn't work related, because it is the opposite of me being indulged in the stress I gain from schoolwork sometimes.
Good. Good stuff.
It is, yes.
I would say you're on the right track with that, Shania, because it always does help to just, take a moment to step back and just do something that frees your mind and then go back into it, because
Hmm.
when you go back into it, you have a clearer mind and you're able to get it done. So you're definitely on the right track with that one. And that's all the questions we have in the chat so far, Miss Carol.
Thank you so much, Shay. So let's talk a little bit about mental health, Shania, on campus. Do you feel that there is enough support for mental health at your college?
They definitely do stress the importance of mental health. They
Mhm.
also encourage students to do more, um, how do I say this? Like connection centered help instead of like, what teenagers would do, smoke, drink, to go to parties to cater to their mental health. They have a wellness center and
Mhm.
they recommend going to the wellness center and sitting down with the on-campus therapist. This is also a Catholic school, so they have mass and they have priests and nuns walking around constantly, and you can go and just have a chat. You can be independent and talk to God. You can, if you're religious, they stress the
Mm.
importance of just handling your mental health in a way that doesn't involve substances or substance abuse.
Mhm. Mhm. Mental health is very important. Shania, without disclosing the college that you attend, do you see a lot of substance drugs abuse on your campus?
I see it I see it moderately. Sometimes, students will be smoking and drinking in their dorms, and then there's like a faint smell of like cannabis or the substance they're using in the hallway, or you could like smell it on them sometimes, even if you walk past. So it's moderate. I see them doing it out in the open, but in the rooms and in private, I definitely can say that it is being done. Yes.
I see that based on how you're speaking and how you articulate, you are very conservative and you grew up in a conservative environment. Are you affected by what you're seeing or what you've seen?
I don't think so. I don't think even throughout high school, I don't feel as if I was very admitted to peer pressure. I feel like if I saw someone doing something, I'd be like, okay, that's you. Even if they told me to do it, I just say no because I just simply don't want to. And I don't feel like it affects me because I'm not smoking or drinking. I don't want to. Um, I want to say that it ha I want to say that it is something that I don't really understand. Uh I don't I don't like I I'm trying what I'm trying to say is that I can tell by
Mhm.
personal experience that it's just something that I wouldn't want to continue. It's not for me. That's what I want to say. It's not,
Say say no to drugs. Say
yes.
no to drugs. Say yes to chemistry. Say
And
yes
yes
to
to bio,
biology.
yes.
Good stuff. I
Yes.
see the chat going. Shay, can we go back to the chat for a second? And we're going to continue a little bit on mental health and Shania. What are we seeing in the chat, Shay? Mhm.
All right. So we have another comment from Jordan. Do you think it's wise to have a relationship as a college student?
Um, I believe that the best relationship variant or the best relationship that can be continued in college is when you both attend the same college. Other than that, it is not recommended. But overall, I feel like relationships can take away a lot from your schoolwork, especially if you are a STEM major and a lot of your time is committed to classes. I don't believe having a relationship is a good idea, especially for your mental health, because your partner also has needs. They want to see you, they want to talk to you. And when you have work and you have a busy schedule, it's just not possible. And that can formulate a lot of disagreements. I have done so in the first semester, and I can say that it didn't turn out the way it was supposed to be. So I don't recommend personally. I don't recommend having a relationship before relationship in college. I don't recommend it. No.
Okay.
I'm going to
Uh,
throw a bone in on this one. One second, Shay. I'm going to throw a bone in. Does anyone agree with that statement that or the answer Shania gave? Do you recommend a relationship in college? And relationship is such a broad topic. Your healthy relationships, your intimate relationships, and different types of relationships. So I want to see some yeses and some no. Come on, guys. Let's make this fun for Shania here on the Ask Carrol Talk
Yes,
Show.
I
You
want
at
to
a
hear your
safe.
opinions because it's it is very interesting. I admit that.
Yes, you're at a safe place. When you're on this platform, you are safe. So let's see if we are agreeing with Shania or we're disagreeing with her.
okay.
Is it appropriate to have relationships while in college? Go
So
ahead,
I'm
Shay.
I'm seeing no relationship. I'm seeing you know what you can manage and focus on your goals. I'm seeing stay away from boys until you accomplish your dreams.
I
I'm
definitely
seeing smart books before boys.
Okay, so we are all on the same page with you, Shania. But there's some good healthy relationships out there. When you think of relationships, it doesn't necessarily have to be intimate relationships. They're positive relationships that you can feed on. Awesome. Go ahead, Shay. If
I
there's
mean
anything else, we'll continue.
Yes, so Sandy said, you're doing fine, Shania. I'm so proud of you. Janelle said, that's such a great mindset, Shania. Sounds like you know who you are and what you want to be in life. L'Oreal says, love you, Shania. And I have another no relationship.
No relationship, one.
Hi,
Okay.
I'm Carol.
Can you mute, please? Thank you. Shania, how would you describe the community atmosphere on campus?
okay, I refer to this school as a commuter school personally because once, let's say, the range for classes is over on Thursday, it's silent. There's nobody in here. There's nobody in the college at all. It's like very quiet. The residents are in their dorm, or sometimes even commonly seen, the residents will leave on weekends and come back on Monday. And it's kind of it was really shocking to me because they pay for dorming just to leave, excuse me. And just shows how like silent and I don't want to say boring, but boring the school atmosphere is. It's very I don't want to say conservative, but it's a
Mhm.
very quiet school. Yes. It's not a
Okay.
party school. It's not very activity oriented. It's more school focused.
More school focus and more school driven indeed. Do you miss home, Shania?
Um
Any regrets?
I when you mean regrets, do you mean as in like college
Leaving
or
home, yeah.
leaving home?
Staying on campus.
Yes, I really miss my siblings. I found it hard to be away from them the most because it's just like when I'm thinking about it, it's like, oh my goodness, they're just while I'm at college and I'm away from home, they're just growing up. And that's not um it's just it's watching them growing up is something that I really liked witnessing and I wanted to continue witnessing, but I'm also growing as well. And that means I need to step into my career and who I'm going to be after high school.
Absolutely. What is the most spontaneous thing you have ever done since you started college?
I went to a frat party. I think that was in October of last year, October 2025, the first semester of college.
You went to a frat party. I've never been to a frat party, Shania. Walk me through it. For those who have never been to a frat party, walk us through, Shania, what it's like at a frat party.
It's very unique, I'd say. Depending on where you go, I
Mhm.
definitely see if there's a mix of like friendly and like uninterested people, people who just like see you and like, oh, that's another person, or people who will come up to you and be like, hey, what's your name? I went to one of the smaller frat arrangements. It was at NJIT, New Jersey Technical Institute. It's a very big school. It's close by. It's in Newark. It's a great school. My friend Annalise, she is in a sorority, and she and her friends, we traveled by car, took the highway, we went to NJIT. It was like a nice little field trip. The party, there's various amounts of like people there. There's just with different personalities. There's girls, boys. Um, they
What
did
about
have
drinking?
they did
What
have
about
alcohol.
drinking?
Yes, they did have alcohol, but they I also opted for juice because I did not want to indulge in any alcohol. My friends did the same, but there were people drinking as they had beer, they had like a they had like the cognac bottle. They had very different
Uh-huh.
types of alcohol, and they were like mixing it, the juice, they were doing whatever they did to make it seem desirable. But that was for them. I opted with juice.
Good for you. Good for you, Shania. Good for you.
Yeah,
I see.
there's music playing. It's a party. There's people dancing, there's games. They have this game where they had this like drinking centered game, and it was like ping pong, and if you missed it, you had to take a shot or something like that. I was watching. I didn't participate, but they have different everything. A lot of things in the frat parties are really centered around drinking. So,
Interesting.
mhm.
Interesting. Interesting. Let's see if anyone else has a comment on that. Um, what are your thoughts in going to frat parties and drinking? Anyone has any thoughts on that? And while we're waiting, Shania, while we're waiting on the chat to go, Shania, do you have any plans to work over the summer breaks or the spring break, winter breaks? What are your thoughts on
Um,
working while in college?
I'm currently employed at the library, which
Oh, congratulations.
right now. Yes, thank you so much. It was my first day of work yesterday, actually, and it's just like
Oh,
this simple
awesome.
desk job. It's not really that difficult. It's
Mm,
very you have to stand by the desk. You have to, if someone comes into the library, you have to assist them. If they need help with printing something, if they need help with checking out a book, finding a book, using utensils, anything library related. That's what the job is. That's what the
I
job
think,
caters to, yes.
yeah, I think that's a good job. That's a good job. Good stuff. Go ahead, Shay. Let's see if we have any comments on that or any other questions for Shania here in the Ask Carrol Talk Show. It's real conversations, real impact.
I'm not saying anything right now.
Okay, no worries at all. Our friends are quiet here on the platform. Shania, you're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. Would you recommend? Well, here's a question. Do you believe that college is for everyone?
I don't believe that college is for everyone. I've seen some individuals here that I think would be better suited for trade, not college.
Okay. Okay, and
And
then go ahead.
to elaborate on that, I just
Mhm,
feel like
sure.
some individuals aren't really like academic sponsored, if that makes sense. Like they're not the type to study or want to attend class or listen to a lecture or figure out an equation. Maybe their talents are better invested into like physical labor, to say, like
Hmm.
maybe being an electrician or doing something that involves like, you know, something
Trade. Yeah.
trade. Yes.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And do you think someone can be successful without having a trade or going to college? Do you think that person can be financially healthy?
I mean, it depends on what you do. I feel like for that, you really need a good financial support system just to even start. Because the way the economy is looking right now, I mean, college is expensive in with itself. I personally, my the effort that I put into high school really helped my college because
Hmm.
I have a lot of scholarships. Even for work, I have a work scholarship where I don't want to disclose too much, but it's like they understand that I'm academic focused. So when I work, they add like a, let's say, a bonus to my hours of what I will
Mm-hmm.
do once the semester is finished. It's like a an agreement basically.
It's an agreement indeed. Thank you, Shania. Shay, what else do we have in the chat on the Ask Carrol Talk Show?
So Michael Williams would like to know many college relationships end when people graduate and move on to different locations or careers. Would you say this is a true statement?
Mm, good. Yeah, interesting.
I say yes, I do agree. It is a true statement. Because sometimes people just move away and separate from each other. And it's not even like after college ends, you realize that you've become an entirely different person and their views don't align with yours. And that maybe that there's someone else out there that is more closely fitted to you compared to them. So, um, like this relation is definitely something that you will see. It's common.
Good, good, very good.
Angela would like to know, what will your careers be after college? I was away from my desk. Hope that question did not get asked.
My career, I'd say a physician assistant. So I'm going to be working in the medical field. I am not the physician. I'm not aiming to be the physician currently, but afterwards, if it's something that I choose and I feel like I'm mentally prepared for, then I could go ahead and further my education and become the physician maybe, or maybe even strive to be in a different part of the medical field, a doctor, a dentist, um something if I decide to further it. So this is already like it's a placement, but there can be a continuation after.
Mhm.
So I just feel like
Absolutely.
that's up to my future self entirely.
Sure. It's a stepping ladder. Okay. Is there anything else in the chat, Shay? And then we can
Yes.
move on. If not,
Sharon says some persons do better with practical than theoretical.
Do they want to? Oh, yes, yes. I was gonna ask the person to elaborate on that, but I understand. I do believe that some people do with practical more than theoretical because some people aren't just for me, for example, I'm going into the medical field right now. It's still academic focused, not trade or like
Mhm.
physical work, but I was always very interested in writing and doing good with my English and literature and history. So to divert that and to go ahead and do something like math and chemistry and biology, stuff that has to do with like less literature and making connections and trying to decipher what this author is talking about, instead focusing on like more science and more possibility. It's definitely I definitely like see that within myself, so I understand that yes, some people do what better with practical more than theoretical. That is definitely true, yes.
And Jordan says your career is not considered professional according to your president. What is your take on that?
Okay. I complete
real conversations really impact on the Ask Carol Talk Show.
absolutely. To comment on that, I completely disagree. I mean, even for my last time I seen my president personally was in 2016, but that's a conversation for a different day. So, my career not being considered professional, I feel like that is entirely shocking. I mean, it's first of all, it's in the medical field. President Trump right now, he's in his 70s, I say. He's getting up there in age, and who is going to cater to him when he has, symptoms of his age? He needs a physician, he needs a doctor, he needs all these sorts of things that could help him, finish his presidency. So for my career or anything in the medical field to not considered professional is completely absurd. I completely disagree. it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's quite actually an insult because the the dedication that people put in to simply even becoming a doctor or even a physician or a physician assistant, it's extreme. You have to do all this testing, all this studying. You have to be able to relay information. You have to make sure that you're catering to yourself, but also other people, because now you have to take care of other people when you're in the medical field. It's not just about yourself anymore. It's you're interacting with others, and you have to be careful about what you do. I do feel
Beautifully
very
said.
strongly on that. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the next president for the United States of America, Shania Reid. Beautifully said, Shania.
Thank you.
We need our medical personnel.
We do. Yes.
We do. Like you rightfully said, our president is in his 70s. At some point we get sick. We're getting older. We will get sick. We need our doctors. We need our nurses. We need our CNAs. We need our home health aide. It takes a village. It takes a village. So President Trump, this is the Ask Carrol Talk Show, where real conversations, real impact. The medical field is essential, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Shanae. Go ahead, Shay.
Okay. We have another question from Michael Williams. He says, given our economic foresight, would you say that we should venture other streams of income, which you have an academic as well?
Could that question be elaborated on, given our economic foresight? What would you say that we should venture? I'm not understanding.
Michael,
Okay.
can you open up your mic if you can and elaborate for Shania on your question, please?
Yes, Michael Williams here. My question is, I know usually, like you said, um, you you focus on a specific career and give your niche, as you said so just now about the medical field. But as a person who, when you're in medical field, if you at work, then as long as you're at work, you are paid. But so now there is our economy is a foresight, meaning that you have to have other streams of income. So I'm asking you, would you suggest the same thing for those who are in college to be able to at least have leverage after college is finished?
Um, okay, so by leverage, you said a different job. So I'd
That
say yes, I do highly recommend that because you could never, especially since that it is very crazy to many people that professions in the medical field have been put on the non-professional list. I definitely believe that other people should look into um, other streams, forms of income, but I also believe that is also difficult because there's just no telling. Like, a lot of jobs right now are currently being replaced with like AI, or AI is being programmed to do the jobs that people are currently doing. So to go ahead and divert and find another career to end up supporting yourself, it's very difficult. So a lot of people are like really thinking before they go to college, or even when they're in college right now, is this what I'm going to do? Is this going to be for the long run? A lot of people around me are like really set into what they're doing because they understand that this is a changing world and that technology is evolving a lot.
Beautiful. Good answer. And Shania, you mentioned about AI definitely taking over our world. AI is definitely taking over our jobs. Are you concerned about that at all? And we know that AI cannot replace our doctors. AI
Right.
cannot replace our nurses or any other medical personnel. What is your take on AI and what's going on now in the world with the advancement of AI?
Okay, that's a very good question. This is not my major, but a lot of people I'm around are medical imaging majors, or they do radiology, or they're trying to become like ultrasound techs. So what what the example is now for AI. They're saying that they want to use AI to scan over the the setup of whatever, like the the exoskeleton, the X-ray. They want
Mhm.
AI to run over that first, the documents, the information that they take from the person and their body or the sickness or the disease. They want AI to run over that first, and then afterwards there will be a radiologist or someone who actually studied to be in the medical field, not a robot or a artificial intelligence. They're saying that they're going to make the AI go first, and then after, to really incorporate a human mind, that a actual person is then going to review after the AI.
It's
Personally,
fascinating. Yeah. Go ahead, Shania. This is interesting.
personally, I don't think that I also think that AI is susceptible to mistakes just like an actual person. So either way, it's not going to be 100% correct. So there will always be mistakes. There's always going to be the chance of a mistake.
Mhm.
So it's not it's not I don't believe that it is recommended. I mean, a lot of the people who are medical imaging majors, they're very upset about that. They don't agree with it. They don't
Mhm. Mhm.
adhere to those recommendations. They don't think that AI should be incorporated into something that they're currently working very hard to excel in.
I agree with you, Shania. But let's just go to the chat for a second. Is there any medical personnel here on the Ask Carol show? If you're a nurse or a doctor in the medical field, what is your take on AI? What Shania just mentioned, going over the images from your X-ray. Have you experienced that? And what is your thoughts on that? Is there any nurses, doctors, or anyone in the medical field here on the Ask Carol Talk Show?
I'm
I
not
think this
seeing
is
anything yet, but I'm giving them a little minute. But there is a comment here for Shania, from Janelle Rich. She said, Beautifully said, Shania. You really are doing a great job." Coming from a current college student, and what I'm learning is a lot of things have not changed over the years, because I've been out of school since 2017, with my bachelor's. And just to hear you say some of the things that you're talking about, a lot of things have not changed. They're still the same, even with what you go through as a freshman and a college student. So you really are doing a wonderful, wonderful job.
yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But let's just go back to the AI conversation for a second. It's very fascinating. Do we have any nurses, doctors, anyone in the medical field on this platform here can bring some more insight for us? Or if you're not in the medical field and you want to make a comment on what is your take on AI assisting our doctors and nurses? What is your take on that?
The chat is still quiet, so I'm waiting to see.
The
But they're
chat is
still
quiet
quiet.
indeed. The chat is quiet indeed. This is the Ask Carol Talk Show. Amazing episode with Shania Reed, freshman in college. Shania, thank you for coming on the Ask Carol Talk Show. But let's do a quick time check. We have 5 minutes here on the Ask Carol Talk Show. Truly, truly interesting stuff that was said here. Last week we had a 15-year-old, and today we have our beautiful Shania who talked about college and college life. And Shania, we wish you all the best here on the Ask Carol Talk Show. We think that you're just going to do amazing. You're going to knock this out. You're going to do just wonderful. But before we go on the Ask Carol Talk Show, we have our book. Our book is ready. And I'm saying we because we're a village here on the Ask Carol Talk Show. It takes a village. So the Know Your Circle book is ready. So if you need a copy, one of the most powerful books you will ever read. If you need a copy of Know Your Circle, it is available. Please message me. Your book will be shipped to you as soon as possible. It's a book about talking about your circle, your inner circle, your outer circle, and your wider circle. And we need some positive influence in our circle. And Shania, I know you have some good positive influence in all your
Absolutely.
circles.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, you do. So,
Mhm.
congratulations on your journey.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your success here. And we wish you all the best. Any final thoughts before we go on the Ask Carrol Talk Show?
It would be much appreciated.
Well, I have one that comes from your mother. She says, "That's my daughter. She got it from her mama."
Yes, absolutely.
And then
Oh, that's been very
Galaxy
inspiring.
says, "Excellent young lady, Shania. Continue to strive. Blessings always."
Thank you. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated.
Awesome. Awesome. It's been an amazing episode. Please join us next week. It's Valentine's Day, February 14th. We are going to talk about love. Love is in the air. If you want to give a shout out to your loved ones on next week's show, you can give a shout out here on this platform to your kids, your wife, your husband, your parents. We are talking love language here next week on the Ask Carrol Talk Show. Join us on 2 p.m. February 14th for love, marriage, and just being in love. We're going to give a shout out. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us today on this Ask Carol Talk Show. Thank you to my amazing co-host, Shay. And thank you to the beautiful and brilliant Shania Reed, our college freshman student here with us today. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, everyone. Good night on the Ask Carol Talk Show. Have a good night.